Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another PrestaShop project live update. My name is Krystian Podemski. I'm the tech evangelist at PrestaShop, and today I'm joined by Ilas, who is QA performance specialist at PrestaShop, and who will present to you a very interesting project that he runs to make PrestaShop more performant, about which we will discuss later. And today's plan is as follows. First, I will introduce you to some of the project news. Then it will be Ilyas who will present to you performance project. And then if you have any questions regarding what Ilyas will present to you or regarding the project in general, there will be a Q&A session at the end. So let's start with the project news. And today's news is a little bit old because it's been a month since we released PrestaShop 8.15, but still for those who don't know, we released PrestaShop 8.15 in March, a little over almost 3 weeks ago, or yeah, it was around 3 weeks ago. And there's a really great release, which was mostly contributed by external contributors from external community members from PrestaShop community. And it has over 20 bug fixes and a bunch of little improvements to make the PrestaShop better. Also, some of the major bug fixes have been fixed in PrestaShop 8.15, including the fix for pack products, some of the issues in the back office. And when it comes to improvements, we have nice touches like, for example, if you add a new product, tax rule for it will be automatically applied thanks to the pull request from Daniel from HalfTalks, who also helped us fixing other bugs from the software. So really a great release, a release mostly sponsored by the community contributors. So if you haven't updated your store already, I highly encourage you to do that. And normally, I would love to skip this slide and go to some other news about PrestaShop 9. For those who don't know, we work on PrestaShop 9 Alpha, our first alpha of PrestaShop 9, but it is still not ready. It is not ready just yet. And I think it will be a great occasion in mind to talk about PrestaShop 9 more thoroughly and more in details when there will be first alpha available, when you will see what we prepared for you in this release, and so on. So maybe right now is the time for us to invite Ilyas to the stage, who will present you performance project. So Ilyas, join me on stage. Hello, Ilyas.
Hello everyone. I'm delighted to be with you today.
Great to hear that. So without further ado, I will let you present the project. Don't forget to share your screen.
Okay, thank you. I will take to share. Hope it's okay. You see my screen. So hello everyone. I start with a brief description of myself and my responsibilities. I am Ilyas Nawar, over 10 years of professional experience. I joined PrestaShop at the beginning of 2023 year. I work cross-functionally on all PrestaShop projects to validate application performance and identify recommendations and improvement to be implemented. Below the outline of the presentation, I will start with software performance introduction. After that, I will share with you some performance tests done. And after that, I will present technical recommendation identified. And I end with what's next for PrestaShop open source project. Concerning software performance, it's a non-functional software testing technique It's an exciting and varied and challenging discipline. In the picture below, we see details of challenges for a performant application like response time, processing time, robustness, availability, scalability, which is the ability of an application to grow with future needs, and efficacy and efficiency. And it's necessary to differentiate between efficacy and efficiency, because efficacy it's getting things done with achieving given goal, and efficiency is doing things in the most economical way. I hope I was crystal clear to explain the difference between those two things. We can
Hello,
talk
Elias.
about, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but we couldn't see the slide that you mentioned. We see the first slide of your presentation, the index one. Oh, now we can see.
Sorry for delay.
Okay, continue.
Sorry for the delay. In fact, there is the picture. I talked about the different challenges for the performance, the response time, the processing time, the robustness, availability, and scalability. Like I said, is the ability of the application to grow with future needs, and efficacy and efficiency. The efficacy, like I said, it's the getting things done with achieving given goals, and efficiency is doing things in the most economical way. We can talk about performance without talking about observability, which is the ability to know and discover what is happening in our system and the resources used. So instrumentation and monitoring is essential for the performance. I hope I was crystal clear. I pass to the next one, performance tests. I have to check each time if I share you the right slide or not. There is some latency, I don't know why, but I check if each time. Yeah. The objective of performance tests for PrestaShop solution for open source is to validate the performance. I mean by that, validate performance and robustness of the solution, have a great service. So you identify potential service failure thresholds. Performance needs to speed. So determine average response time for most critical actions, and determine suggestion once test is done and analysis. So determine technical recommendation to set up for the target environment. I switch to the next slide. And my screen, it's I switched to the next one, but on the share here, I don't see it. I don't know why. Yeah. Here, the target environment used for the performance campaign for the project is as shown on the schema above. It is important to know we have separate two servers, shop server and database server, each server in a separate instance. This separation is to gain and improve on performance, to avoid any conflict between two servers and the consumption of the resources. I can give an example for if we have a shop installed in an old distribution like CentOS, we can have a high degree of probability to have panic CPU because the CPU resource management algorithm is not too developed or mature to share resources between two servers. So it's recommended by us, by PrestaShop, to separate servers in each server aside in distinct instance. In order to remain the same open source context, an open source test tool was used for performance campaign, and the tool used is Octoperf, in which we can import or export JMeter scripts. So we still in the same context for open source. I shall to the next slide, just 2 seconds. Yeah, I will start by presenting one of the relevant tests in which I inject gradual ramp amp to identify bottlenecks and check if there is a saturation of service resources. Here in this test, the target peak load is 302 simultaneous user. Our response time degrades with the ramp amp and reached an average of 15.15 seconds. On shop server from 176 simultaneous user, we note high CPU consumption of over 95%, followed by CPU saturation during shooting. Concerning memory, it's modest memory occupancy during shooting, reaching 33%. We note two saturation of Apache workers as load increases. As the load increases, there are competitive requests which saturate the pool of child process PHP FPM. I hope you see the capture. So there is with the average, we note the average of load, we note the saturation of the CPU, and here is on this capture, we note with the average of, with the peak of load, we note the saturation of Apache workers. And here is, we note the saturation of the pull child during the test, pull child process for PHP FPM. Concerning the database, CPU consumption is modest, now exceeding 50% during the test. Memory occupancy is stable during the test, not exceeding 62%. We note no SQL query latency, and transaction processing time is acceptable during the test. The second test that I will explain, it was launched following an analysis and identification of technical recommendation to be implemented. So once recommendation implemented on the target environment, the availability rate is 100%, and error rate is 0%. So no error reported during the test. The average response time is much better, stand optimal within load increase. Once again, 0.76 seconds. Concerning shop server, no resource saturation or error observed when peak load reached. Once 178 simultaneous user, we have on this test, and Apache workers handles correctly the load injection. We can see that the capture here below. The management of the resources for the shop server, it's normal during the test. We note high CPU consumption when load ramping to attain 98% before returning to normal, and no error of pull of child process during the test. In the capture below, sorry. And for memory occupancy is stable during the test and does not exceed 52%. For database, in the same situation, the resources consumption is modest, not exceeding 21% for CPU and not exceeding 65% for memory. So it's good for the database server. I switch to the last test. I have to wait a little minute. It's okay. The aim of the last shot is to identify the database volume capacity. Battery of performance tests was launched, each time adjusting the volume of the shop data. I mean by that products, order, and cart rules to identify the first limit of the database with 500 products, 400 orders, and 315 cart rules. At this volume of shop, we identify some error, 500 error exactly, due to the processing time exceeded or once we try to generate the PDF invoice. This issue can be bypassed by increasing the parameter max execution time in the file php.ini, but it's a bypass, not the final solution. So for that, a GitHub issue is opened concerning this situation to improve two axes or two points. First one is the SQL query used during generation of the invoice. Query has a double join and it's expensive transaction. And the approach to invoice generation needs to be improved to gain on processing time. Concerning resources behavior, the resources behavior are normal during tests, no saturation or high consumption noted during this test. Now I pass for technical recommendation, which I identified during analysis of precedent tests I presented. It's concerning for our target environment. First one is to increase the shop server CPU. Once the motivation for this recommendation is to better absorb the load. So we recommend to increasing the number of CPU cores of the on the application server. Another recommendation is modify the shop server swap settings. The default value for this parameter on the system is 16. The recommended value is 1 because if swappiness is greater than 1, the swap will be in constant use, which is detrimental for performance. Even though not all RAM is used. I mean by that, if we don't change this parameter, we're gonna use the swap, and it's not benefit for the performance of the application on and changing this parameter to a recommended value, we gain on the performance. Another system parameter is the open file system on the shop server. The open file parameter, it's a Linux parameter too, must be equal or greater than to max user to gain on performance. Another recommendation done concerning MySQL configuration. This MySQL optimization done to ensure better use of database cache and buffer before disk space is used up. So the idea, more we use at first the cache, more we gain in performance instead of using the disk for reading and writing. So that's the point for changing this MySQL configuration to gain or improve the performance.
Sorry, Ilyas. Sorry, Ilyas. Once again, I have to interrupt you because you are speaking about very interesting things, but we don't see the slide, which would be, very helpful for those who are watching our live update.
Yeah, I thought I was sharing the correct slide. In
Yeah, I
fact,
think that there
in my
is some
script,
issue with
yeah,
the animations. So
yeah.
yeah, now we can see it.
Sorry for that. It's, I don't know
No worries,
why,
no worries. I
because
think
on my
it's
screen,
important
yeah,
to see those numbers at least, at the
yeah.
end of the presentation. So, and we will share the presentation anyway for those who are interested. We will share it with announcement. So please
Okay,
continue.
okay. I can explain again those recommendations. The first one for increasing shop server CPU. The motivation for that is to better absorb the load. We recommend to increasing the number of CPU cores on the application server. The second one is concerning Linux parameter for the swap settings. In general, by default, the default value is 16. The recommended value is 1. So if swappiness is greater than 1, the swap will be in constant use, which is detrimental to performance, even though not all RAM is used. Another system parameter, open file system. Default value is 1024. I increase this parameter because the open file parameter must be equal or greater than max user process parameter. Another optimization is done on MySQL configuration. The purpose of this optimization is to use the database cache on first and buffer before disk space is used, because when we use the cache at first, we gain on performance instead of using the disk space and reading and writing, and we improve the performance by that. There is a parameter on the MySQL open file system for database server, which is changed in order to align with the database parameter open file limit. The Linux system parameter on file has been adjusted to have the same value, the parameter of my SQL and the parameter of the Linux open file. I switch to other recommendation done. I hope the same on the share screen. I have to wait a little. Sorry for the delay, but I have to wait. Yeah. PHP FPM configuration optimization. The target file, as you can see on 3w.conf. Default value for PM max child is 5. I increase it to 25 with other related parameters. Because as soon as there are more concurrent requests than available process, PM max child is reached and new requests are queued. This optimization ensures better management of concurrent requests. And to handle correctly the target number of simultaneous or concurrent users, the Apache configuration optimization is done like this way. At first, we have to activate the mode npm prefork instead of npm event, and use the configuration as you can see. To better manage the increase of user load, it is necessary to optimize the web server configuration to avoid saturation of Apache worker, like I presented at the first test. What next? For what next? Launch more performance tests. And this will be with more relevant scenarios and another type of tests. I mean by that, endurance tests, bike tests, and stairs tests. We plan to setting up a performance testing in continuous integration and share technical recommendation for the target environment. What what we suggest in general to have or to improve the performance, like separation of servers, each server in different instance to gain on performance. I hope I was clear during my presentation, and sorry for the delay during the switching between the slides. I don't know why, but hope I was clear. That's all for me.
Thank you, Elias. I would like to thank you for joining us today, and I would like to emphasize that this is only the first step in making performance in PrestaShop better. As you can see, it's very technical subject, it's very complex subject, and it consists of many steps towards having a more performance solution. And I would like to emphasize also about on a few other things. First of all, as you could see during Alice's presentation, we used environment which is a little less powerful than we used to have even on the shared hostings, but it's due to the fact that we want PrestaShop to work on lower capacity servers as well and less performance servers as well. So it's like testing the performance on front end of your store. You test you test it on 3G instead of 5G, and so on, to improve performance on even some worse quality servers first, which will allow us to basically discover some lacks of performance, like the provided example of invoices generation for 400 orders. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more scenarios, more work done on the performance project, and hopefully we could see you, Elias, with another presentation regarding the progress on the performance project. If we have any questions to Elias, let us know on the chat. So maybe we can wait a few minutes to see if there are any questions regarding your presentation or project in general. And we will share the presentation in the live update summary, so you can make yourself familiar with all the slides. Okay, I don't see any questions for the moment. There's one comment from Giovanni, who is hoping for having a permanent solution for slow cards on B2B websites. I think this is the problem that we all would love to see solved, but it's quite a complex one. Hopefully something for V9 or V10 could be done regarding this. All right. I think that's all for today. Elias, thank you for joining me today and presenting performance project. We will keep you updated. For those who watching, we will keep you updated regarding the performance project and its continuity and so on. So again, thank you, Elias, for joining us today.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for those who join us on YouTube, and we will see you in May.
Thank you.